How do you find God in the middle of your grief? Hey there, I'm Carol from the Light FM Morning Show, and that's a difficult question that we all have to wrestle with. I had a chance to sit down with Mark Hall of Casting Crowns to chat with him about finding hope after the loss of his dad. And this is what hope sounds like.
That's a whole world that needs some extra love thing to say. Sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves to somehow fix this or defend God because of this thing that's happened to someone that we tend to stay away from people that just need us to love them.
How do you find and keep hope alive?
I will find hope in what Jesus Christ did for me.
Do we believe?
My hope is centered totally, completely in Him.
Do we trust?
I have hope today because of what Jesus did on the cross.
His hope doesn't change.
Hope is triumph in our triumph.
First of all, Mark, I want to start by saying we're so sorry to hear about the passing of your father. We've been praying for you. And so how you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. I'm staying busy and I've been with my mom, taking care of her and getting her. She's going through a lot of transition.
Sure.
So I think for guys, we just have to be helping somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's necessarily a healthy thing, but we just get busy helping folks and getting through things. This past week, we did our first concerts since Dad passed, and that was tough.
Yeah,
that was tough. That first night, I believe it was the crowd singing "Scars in Heaven" to me instead of me singing it to them. But the song "Scars in Heaven" I actually wrote for my dad. I just couldn't really talk about it.
Sure.
Because we've been caring for him for several years. I knew it was coming, and I just thought, I'm not going to be able to write this song when it happens. And so that's his song, you know?
Yeah.
He was my hero.
Yeah. And, you learn so much from being a caregiver. I understand that you and your sister and your mom are all caring for your dad. What did you learn in that season of caregiving that you would now encourage someone else who finds themselves caring for someone? Because at least for me, I didn't ever think I would be a caregiver because, but when you find yourself in that place, I think you learn a lot.
Yeah, you really do. Well, it really opens your eyes to how many people are caring for their parents. I mean, they're everywhere. That's a whole world that needs some extra love and extra prayer because it's tough. Because dementia is it steals your people twice.
Yeah.
And so there's some really hard days, and just people not necessarily knowing what to say, but just coming by and telling you they love you is a big deal.
Yeah.
I think the two big lessons here are when somebody's going through something, you don't have to have the perfect thing to say. Sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves to somehow fix this or defend God because of this thing that's happened to someone that we tend to stay away from people that just need us to love them. So first lesson is go love people and just be with them and just tell them you're sorry and tell them you're praying for them.
Yeah.
And the second is, I can preach way more about the first one. The second one is the hard one. Let people in. And I'm not the best at that. I'm a giver. I'm not much of a receiver. So letting people get around me and know that I'm really struggling, know that this has been really hard. It was a really hard night, and so that's been a big deal.
Isn't it interesting how God puts us in different roles to teach us those lessons? Because now you have that to draw from in your ministry in the days ahead. Not that everything that we go through is going to be turned into a ministry, but I think it speaks to the part of us that wants to fix things, the part of us that wants to make things better for people. When you're then in that role where you have to receive, it gives you a whole new dimension, a whole new perspective.
It really does. It really does.
Yeah. How can we best pray for you in the days ahead? Because I know your schedule, like you alluded to, is pretty crazy. And as you get back on the road and kind of try to get back, although your life will never be the same again, you have this calling on your life. So how can we pray for you best in the days ahead?
I think definitely praying for my mom and my sister, because I'm kind of getting them through things, and all of a sudden not being here with Crown's schedule's always been built around the church anyway, so it's mainly Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm home for church on Sunday and here through the week. So that's really coming in handy now as well, being with them. But just making sure they're okay.
Yeah.
And my mom is now getting some good friends in the church, which is huge.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom lives 5 minutes from my house. My sister, 7 minutes. My son, 6 minutes. Everybody's right here, so it's great.
Yeah.
So having everybody around her is a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So just be praying. Just be praying for God's peace and let her have all the sweet memories, all the sweet memories. And then, of course, there's all the things you've got to do when someone passes. There's all this, Social Security stuff and insurance and all that kind of thing that's got to be happening right now. And that's not my gift.
Mm-hmm.
So I do not have a left brain, so I'm not really good at forms and all that kind of stuff. So be praying for them as they get through that.
I totally relate to where you are. I shared with you before we started, my mom passed from dementia in December,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad passed almost 5 years ago. And there, caring for someone's affairs after they pass is a full-time job. And
It
when
really
it's
is.
not your gift, it takes even more energy out of you to get those things accomplished. But we will certainly.
If anything, it gets me more in line to get things figured out for my family, so they don't have to do that. But
Sure.
that's a lot.
Yeah. And how is your health overall? Because you had the cancer diagnosis and went through treatment for that. How are you doing physically?
I'm doing okay. I've still got my voice issues that I'm dealing with. It's called spasmodic dysphonia. So it just kind of, you'll hear it when I talk. It just kind of goes grovelly sometimes. It doesn't do it as much when I sing, but it does a lot more when I talk. But it's so I have a voice therapist out on the road, like just pulling and yanking on my neck and getting things loose before concerts. So other than that, I guess it's no different than having a trainer. I've never had one, but I hear that's what it's like. When you exercise, I think they call it working out. I'm not sure. I always tell the guys, my resurrection body is going to be amazing. So I'm just trying to get to it. I'm just trying to get to it.
I get it.
But yeah.
A lot of fun. So tell us about the tour, what's coming up, what's next for Crowns, and how you guys are going to be heating up the roads.
Oh, yeah. This tour, we did the first half a few months ago. It's our 20th anniversary tour. It has been amazing. So much fun because we're getting to take an orchestra with us. So it's all mainly theaters. So it's more intimate.
Yeah.
And you just got this string section wrapped around us and all these screens. And we start with the very first Crowns record. And we just play the big songs all the way through all of Crowns. And you get to hear the stories, how things came together and what happened. People are having a lot of fun. We're getting a lot of really good feedback.
Do you ever think to yourself, have we really been doing this 20 years? I mean, because it seems like it's
Very
gone
much so.
pretty quick.
It really, really has gone very quick. I was when they first told me, "Hey, we're going to do something for your 20th anniversary," I was like, "What? Who's this? Who are we talking about?" So it has gone pretty fast. And my kids grew up on the road.
Yeah.
They've all been on the road since the start. My wife Melanie, she runs Crowns, so she makes it all happen. So not being away from your family helps things not be quite as hard,
right?
And so it's been a great 20 years.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to seeing you out on tour. Before, I know you got to jump off, but I got to tell you a really quick story and this is funny, so it won't be, I feel like we've dealt with a lot of heavy stuff. So this one to send you on your way with a laugh. So years and years and years ago, I had just started with the radio ministry, and it's just when Casting Crowns started getting big. I mean, you guys were blowing it out of the water with every single song, and we went on the music boat cruise, and I was fairly new to Christian radio. I'm standing at the ice cream machine, and I was getting ice cream, and I turned around, and I was like this far from you. I mean, like inches from you. You were right behind me, and I knew who you were, and I just went, "Chocolate!" And I'm sure you thought, okay, that, and I
was like, "Give me that
I was
cone.
like,
That's the last
"It's my
cone."
call of Casting Crowns, chocolate," and I said chocolate to you. So I would like to publicly apologize.
Oddly, I bet most people that met me on that cruise probably met me at that ice cream place.
I love it. I love it, Mark. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. Know that we're praying for you. We appreciate your ministry, and especially in the days ahead, we're going to be lifting you up. That's what hope sounds like. Thank you, Mark, for spending some time with us today. To find out more about Mark Hall and Casting Crowns and their 20th anniversary tour, you can go to thelightfm.org.